Hello, everyone. Welcome to the B2B SaaS podcast. I'm your host, Upendra Verma, and today we have Amit RG with us. Amit here is the CEO of a company called RichPanel. Hey, Amit, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Upendra. Thanks for having me.
All right, Amit, let's try to understand right what RichPanel does, right, and why customers are willing to pay you money.
Sure, absolutely. See, we at RichPanel, we believe the best kind of customer service is the one where you don't have to contact customer service in the first place. So it sounds contradictory, but if you look at the apps you use on a day-to-day basis, right? Look at apps like Amazon or look at apps like Uber. I've gone and used these apps for many years without having to contact them even once or contacting them like once every year. Because the way that these guys think about customer service is they think any edge case that the product hasn't solved is what creates a support ticket. So if you could analyze all of them and make it a part of the product, you wouldn't need to contact these people anymore. Without naming any specific brands, I've had some very horrific experiences. Uh, Horrific is a very strong word to use, but frustrating experiences buying from brands where the return process, the exchange process, or something like just editing an order after hours because the brand is doesn't have like a customer support team on a weekend
Mhm.
is really painful because they don't have any staff, and even though I tried to change something or add items to my cart within 5 minutes of making a purchase, I couldn't really do that. So that's what we're hoping to change with RichPanel. We want to enable e-commerce brands to have like the same kind of experiences or be able to deliver the same kind of experiences, the ones that you see on apps like Amazon, like
So
productize everything that
Mhm.
people don't need to contact you.
That makes a lot of sense. So I just want to understand this customer base a bit, right? So you talked about you serving e-commerce companies, right? So are they your primary focus today?
Correct. We are expanding into other verticals without promoting ourselves to other verticals. We have a ton of like software companies that already use us, like SaaS companies, other SaaS companies, including RichPanel, that uses RichPanel for its customer support. Uh, as of now, the platform is very geared, and we have promoted ourselves to e-commerce market in the e-commerce market, but practically the product could be used for other verticals as well.
So I'm going to talk about the product differentiation here, right? So I mean, customer service, customer support, these are age-old industries and products, right? I mean, I see tons of like every company has got to have some sort of product that they've been using, right? So how do you position yourself here, right? So do you believe that you're bringing your product has got something that nobody has sort of done so far? Are you trying to revolutionize something, or do you believe there's already an existing market out there, right? So how are you looking at this whole product in space?
The way that we're thinking about this is, firstly, yeah, the product is unique. There's nothing like this that exists in the market. There are parts that are overlapping with existing solutions. Like if you use like a Zendesk or a Freshdesk, yes, that's a help desk or that's a ticketing system. But we have a very unique way of looking at customer support. So if you go to Amazon, traditionally, what's the definition of help desk? Somebody who does a phone call, somebody who emails you, somebody who texts you, or contacts you on social media. The customer support bid starts from there. That's the width of a customer support help desk today. We are going a few call them to contact customer support, right? So we analyze the reasons why you're getting a call, why you're getting an email, and then we create an interface. So think of RichPanel as everything that a Zendesk and a Freshdesk does, plus the My Account section of Amazon, right?
Got it. Yeah.
Or the My Account section of like Uber Eats. So people are able to see their orders, do returns, exchanges, manage their orders, manage the profile, all of those bring. Uh, and the way the analytics force more and more operations to be front loaded
Mhm.
because that's a seamless, effortless experience for the customer, and it works out in the favor of the business as well.
Makes sense. So I mean, talk about your customers today, right? So how many paying customers do you have on your platform as of today?
As of today, we have like over 2,000 customers. Uh,
And how big are these
Approximately
customers, right?
50.
So what sort of customers are we talking about, right? So how much do they pay you on an average? Is it a $100 deal, $1,000 deal per year, right? So what sort of deal range are we talking about? I know there's going to be a spread, but give me a sense of, how big your customers are today.
$10,000 is what average customer pays on a basis. 80% of the revenues are in the US and 20% are in Europe, Australia, and the UK.
Okay. And have you hit that 1 million ARR marks today?
Yeah, we
Okay.
crossed that.
And is that where
We
you are
crossed it last.
approximately in terms of revenue?
No, first, we've crossed 2 million in ARR,
That's
and that's where we are.
that's fantastic, right? So just help me understand, right? So 12 months before, right? So where were you as a company in terms of revenue, right? So I just want to get a sense of how you're growing before we deep dive into your growth journey.
Sure. So we started billing our customers in like 2020.
Mhm.
It took like 3 to 4 months to sort of bill, and then every year that we've stayed in existence, we've sort of like doubled. That's where we've gone. So not like hyper explosive growth, but decent growth.
Got it, right? So I'm assuming that you've grown from over, let's say, $1 million to $2 million over the past 12 months, right? So, right. So just help
Yeah.
me understand, right? So where you getting all of these leads from, right? So where are they discovering you? Just purely from a top of funnel perspective, right? So where are they discovering you? What channels have been working for you so far?
Oh, that's an interesting question because we have like many channels
Yeah.
that has sort of worked for us, and the composition kept changing. But I can give you like
So
five, six
I'm going to
channels.
focus on the past 12 months. I know it's going to be hard, right? So just stick to the past 12 months, right? So what's been
Word of
working now,
mouth.
right?
Word of mouth is one. Word of mouth is one. Second is referral. So every company that uses RichPanel will have the branding like powered by RichPanel. So if you
Yeah.
go to like Built With today and you look at the top help desk solutions or ticketing systems, I think we are already like number or 14th in the entire ticketing category, right?
Mhm.
So that's the number of implementations because we also have a free plan. So people tend to install it. And once you open the widget, you see, oh, this is very abnormal. Like this is something that you've never seen before. It's not a live chat. It's not a chat bot. I'm able to see my orders. I'm able to see like all my conversation histories. I'm able to like troubleshoot, take actions right inside that widget. So it sort of leaves an impression. And then every once in a while, out of the millions and millions of customers that are interfacing with the RichPanel widget, few of them will be business owners themselves.
Yeah.
So they will say to us that I bought something from this company and I like the support experience that I received. So I'm reaching out to you. So that's the second source. One is a direct word of mouth saying that, hey, I'm using it. You also use it. The second one is somebody discovering us through that link. Third would be organic. What else? What else?
And
We did a lot of paid ads as well, which we stopped recently.
Mhm.
Or we've been like on and off experimenting. It's not like directly attributable, but on several calls, I've heard people finding us through those keywords.
Right.
So
So
that's like other
yeah,
thing.
I'm going to ask you a tough question, right? So help me quantify this, right? So out of, let's say, 1,000 customers that you've sort of acquired over the past 12 months, right? So which one of them might have sort of attributed to most of this growth? Can you just give me an approximate split here?
I think the top two channels that I said, like which is word of mouth
Awesome.
and powered by RichPanel, each would be like I think 15%, and then search would be around like SEO is another one. SEO is also big. Would be like 30% in terms of number of leads.
Mhm.
Now, SEO may be 30%, but it doesn't necessarily mean that revenue is 30%. Most of the revenue comes from that word of mouth and that referral thing. That's the most powerful for us in terms of revenue.
So talk about this word of mouth, right? So like, how do you even quantify this, right? So like, how do you even know like something like that is even happening, right? How do you sort of incentivize your existing customers to go and spread the word about you? I know they like your product, they love the experience, they want to spread the word, but how are you incentivizing them, and how are you sort of attributing
We're
this
not.
new growth to that?
We're not. We should be like doing some campaigns, or we don't even have like a referral program which we ought to have. But generally, like I was doing some customer support myself yesterday. I received a ticket from a founder of a D2C brand, and then when I received the ticket, 1 hour before that, one of the account execs said that there is a lead that came from the founder of so and so company. Uh, and then I receive a ticket from that same person, Sam, later on. He had some issue. So I'm talking to him, and then at the end, I'm like, hey, somebody reached out to us saying that it was a reference through you. So thank you for that and appreciate it. Then I went on his Twitter. He's quite popular. He's come to many of these podcasts, and then he has done a few tweets, talking about his stack, how he's upgraded, and he has mentioned RichPanel there. So some of it is like directly his friends. Some of it is like people who are following him that could have clicked it. So that's just one of the many people that they're just talking normally, like this is what I use, this is what I do, and then people hear it and then they adopt. And sometimes it's like competitors, like they are keeping a track of what the other people are using, what's their stack looking like, what's the upgrade. So they find us there. Some tech savvy entrepreneurs will also go on like Build With, or like, they will look at their competitive websites and they're like, oh, they're using this app, they're using that app, and I want to implement the same thing. So that's how they go. And they see it. Every account exec has to capture how did you hear about us.
Got it. So, and that's how you're getting all of these numbers from, right? So I'm just, yeah. And just talk about this powered by branding, right? So I mean, these days I'm hearing like every SaaS founders who's got a product which sort of, where they can sort of, which has this UI, right? They have this powered by element, and then it just drives on this viral growth, and all of a sudden you're seeing tons of top of funnel leads, right? And let's just talk about your experience here, right? So, and like, I don't even see a free plan on your pricing page, right? So like, how do I like
It's going
how
to
can
come
people
back.
even get started?
It's going to come back. The marketing team keeps experimenting. Like, let's remove this. Let's,
Okay.
experiment with a different CDA. Like even if you look at all the CDAs on the website today, they're all like, uh, get a demo instead of, start a free trial. So they keep experimenting. Uh, but yeah, the free plan will be added back. They must be running some,
So so so
A/B
so
testing.
so basically, this free plan is what's driving a lot of lot of growth to your lot of new leads, right? That's coming to your website, right? Just because of this powered by branding.
That's my feeling. That's my feeling. I've
Okay.
not like, analyzed it, or I've not gotten into the depth of it. Like, just 5 days back, we got a review on the Shopify App Store saying that, I'm very happy with the app. I've been using it. This is like the Apple of help desk. And I'm still on the free plan. So, and I installed this app in like 2021, and I'm like, really, like he's been using it for 2 years for free. So it's reviews like those that make me anecdotally feel like, hey, we need to have like more such people, right? More such people go. And sometimes the reason it's not attributable, because I'll give you another example. There's this one company uh, that is on the free plan. Okay. And, and we would not have even discovered this if we hadn't asked him, like, how did you hear about us? So we get a lead from a D2C VC, not a VC, a PE firm. They acquire a bunch of these e-commerce websites and then they sort of buy from there, right? So they had 30 or 35 such stores. It was a 100K plus deal. And then I asked them, like, how did you hear about us? He's like, oh, we had this one company that signed up with you in December. We acquired them and they showed us their stack and they convinced us that all the 30 brands that we have should move to RichPanel. So all the 29 brands were using other help desk solutions. But this one free plan convinced them like, hey, all the others should be coming to me. So that lead has to be attributed as a free plan, right? But you have to dig deeper. If it gets created as a separate company, separate account, you wouldn't even sort of know, right? So that was like one example. Even the other one that I just mentioned, right? The one that called us the Apple. I will also open that. I think he's not using the app now. Let me just open it once again. Uh, yeah, he pretty much came to us saying like, I'm not using it. I have moved on. I am in another company. Uh, yeah, I'm in another company, but I want to take a moment to appreciate because I hate using. I don't know if I should be bashing our competitors, but I'm just quoting my customer. Uh, yeah. Okay, check this out. So this is something that Mark, who's the so basically this is a from the head of customer support, and this email came from Jose Rodriguez. He used to work with a company called Lunchbox. So I'm just reading something that is public because he posted a review today. But he sent an email saying, don't need any help. Hi team, don't need any help. Just wanted to take the time to let you know I enjoy RP. RP is short for Rich Panel. more than any other help desk I've used. I've used Gorgeous in the past and currently use Zendesk with my other job. I can't stand Zendesk.
Yeah.
Looks awful clunky, not intuitive in the slightest. To me, RP is like Apple versus Android. UX is more intuitive, looks much more cleaner, polished. Workflow is much more intuitive, etc. And then he went on to say that. He's like, I'm rambling now, but RP feels like Apple,
That
the
that's
help desk world, right?
that's
I
wonderful, Amit,
appreciate
right?
it.
Yeah, let's move on to your conversion strategy here, right? So I mean, like I know it's gonna take a lot of you to convert a $10,000 deal, right? So help me understand the sales process that you typically go through one of the leads that you've generated, right? So what does it take? How long is the sales cycle? What do you do during those days? Just help us understand the process.
Actually, not. So in a $10,000 deal, you can't really afford to have a very long sales cycle, right? It has to be quick, ideally within 3 to 4 weeks, which
Mhm.
includes, either you're already on the trial or, the account exec is going to create an account for you, let you trial for 2 weeks and, help you during that process. Do more calls with the other stakeholders. Like it could be like the founder sent an email to the customer support person, go check this out, or the customer support head or a customer support agent is exploring this on their own. So they pretty much will come on a call. They may need to do 1 or 2 more calls. Then they do a trial and then they convert. So typically it's 3 to 4 weeks. It's all
It's
inside sales.
correct. It's typically somebody discovering your website, starting a trial, and then you ensuring that they adopt, use the product and derive value out of it, and then just convert, right? Is it
Yeah,
simple?
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not. Yeah, I think after they have contacted or taken a trial, it's 4 weeks. It could be that they've been hearing about us for many months before that, but they didn't take an action. Some people will come to us after a year. They said, I evaluated you, but I didn't go ahead with you. I went with someone else. Now I'm coming to you.
Right.
So that also happens all the
You've
time.
nurtured them for quite a while before they actually sort of took that step,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
There is many. I think there's many touch points that are not. I think I know that many touch points could be like like they saw some post. They attended some webinar. They attended some event. Uh, and then they received emails from us. Uh, and they saw us like in organic search or something, and then they finally decided to talk to us.
so Amit, talk about your churn today, right? So like, how does that look like for a business like yours?
Uh, o- Thankfully, in the last 3 months, it's been good. Like it's
So
close to
can you
zero
help us?
percent, but
Okay,
it's really
yeah,
zero
you go ahead.
percent. It's close to 0%, right?
Mhm.
And then before that, it was continuously around like 2% every month,
Mhm.
right? I'm including both, like churns and also downgrades. People coming to us and saying, "Yeah, I know you've reduced your pricing. I want to come on the new pricing." So, that also is considered to be reduction.
Got it. And then do you sort of do anything actively to sort of expand an existing account? If yes, what do you do?
We don't have that too much now because a lot of them are on a limit that is a little bit more than what they need. A lot of those accounts like that, and the limits that we gave to the initial few customers were pretty generous. So they don't, there's no expansion opportunity unless it's like forms like, oh, I'm starting a new brand, new company, go there, new brand, new guy. So the expansion is like very little. Like I've seen like other accounts where let's say you have like 100 accounts, right? 20 of them will churn. Like I'm talking about an absolute number, right?
Yeah.
So if you started with $100 in the beginning of the year, $20 are churned. You're left with 80, but this 80 gives you like additional 40 next year. So it
So
becomes like
how is that
120, and then
happening?
you
So
report like,
that's my question is how is that
you know,
happening? So are they moving on to a different tire or are they
no,
just
it doesn't. No,
hiring more customer service reps
no.
within their team or how is that happening?
So right now, if they hire more customer support agents, because we've changed the pricing recently, that's why you saw the free plan is not available. We moved to like a agent-based pricing.
Yeah.
Before that, it was based on conversations and self-service resolutions,
Mhm.
where the limits were a little too generous. So there, the expansion opportunities were only limited to companies adding new brands
Yeah.
or starting new companies, and that's the only expansion opportunity. Uh, and in that case, we would not see that. We would see like out of 100, if we start with $100 in the beginning of the year, we're left with like 85. And then we probably add $10 from expansion,
Mhm.
unlike others that are getting 30, 40 more from this base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and are
So
you
that's
sort
what,
of
that's
So
our
have
focus now.
so you move to a per seat based pricing, or are you're experimenting with it, right? So how are the results so far, and what's
Both
the
things. Both one is I think our customer. I need to reduce. I want to make the product more affordable, uh, because one of the reasons we are not expanding that much is, we charged a little bit more, or we sold a little bit more than needed. Like the limits were set up in a manner that you need some features, you need to take like a bigger plan,
yeah
although you didn't need it. So when you do that, yeah, you book more revenue, but your expansion takes a hit,
yeah.
right? And the number of the top of the funnel also reduces because you drove away a lot of customers
Yeah.
because of that, right? So we need to price ourselves to make it accessible to more people. That's going to be my focus, and then the expansion should naturally happen.
So Amit, so I want you to go back to 2020, right? When it all just started, right? So how did you get those first 5, 10 customers? Just talk about that, 0 to 1 journey of yours.
First, honestly, the first 10 customers came from contacts, references. I've been in the e-commerce world uh, for quite a while now, and our revenues were a bit inflated because the first month you're starting with like 10,000 in MRR, because these customers are like, oh, what are you building? We'll take it, right? And honestly, the product wasn't even what it is today. Like it was like, okay, we'll see what we're building, kind of thing. But it was more like like, hey, we just want to take a part in like your success. We want to help you, and I'm very thankful to those customers because many of them are also friends. Uh,
So talk about
I,
that
I
10 to 100, right? So that first scalable channel that really worked and started
interviews.
giving business.
Talk to a lot of people. Okay, don't get don't obsess over the solution like most founders would do, including me. Like you feel like you're the genius. You've created something extraordinary, but instead focus on just the problems, right? Like every day when you wake up, like who's the buyer, who's the ICP? Every day when you wake up, what's sort of keeping you up? Like what's the challenge? What are the things that you're thinking? Where are you spending your money? Uh, and you got to be in that category. You need to have that mindset because you're always competing for attention, not really with the competitors, but everything else that is going on with their lives. So you got to like get to the very depth of their business and then sort of make the entire
Yeah, but
app,
what
right?
exactly did you do to
Mhm.
get from that 10 to 100 customer sort of base, right? So apart from your contacts, right, what else really worked during those
Listening
first
to
12 months?
conversations, yeah, like doing a lot of interviews
So what do you mean by
uh,
that? So
and digging deeper.
how did you how like what did you used to do? Like what do you mean by interviews? Did you used to talk to potential customers? Like where did they find like where did you like
Yeah,
what channel did you use? Like just talk about that process.
just reaching out to potential customers, people that I already know. Even those 10 that signed up, they signed up for a product, but ended up with another product that was completely different because after talking to them, we are like, oh, we have this problem, we have this problem, we have that problem. And then out of all those, we are like, okay, that's one problem that's big enough for our appetite. Could be used by a massive number of people. And I do see like a lot of current technology and IP that could be applied that could make a huge difference, right? Like in case of customer support, it's like, hey, if you look at articles dating back to like 2019, when Zomato had to let go of 540 employees. You can just Google it. And this is despite growing so much.
Mhm.
So why did they have to do this? Because they implemented this section, this my account section, which started to resolve all their chats. And you're like, hey, what if we take this technology and apply it to what Peter just told me or what Mayalise just told me? Like they're also, telling me about these problems. They are trying to create chatbots. They're trying to do this. And someone like a Zomato or an Uber is, thinking 10 steps ahead and they've created this technology. We're like, okay, what if we mix the two, make that a product and give it to them? And by the way, we did interview people from all of these companies. We interviewed people from Uber, Amazon, Zomato, read
But they didn't
articles,
become your
Swiggy.
customers, right? So they would have helped you build
No,
your product, but
they said we did look for, but they did all confirm that we did look for a solution like this before we decided to build it in house. Now they have a team of like a bunch of engineers that are just focused on that
yeah,
one thing, right?
got it. Right. So talk about like have you raised any external funding so far to build your company?
Yeah. So we raised money from Sequoia. We also got selected from Y Combinator in year one. The only reason I didn't sign up with Y Combinator is because we were remote and the whole batch was remote. I didn't think we will extract too much value from these Zoom
And how much
calls.
did you raise in total so
Um,
far?
2 million.
Okay, makes sense. And like, what's like how much how big of a team do you have today?
We have 30 members,
30, right?
a
And what
little
do
less
they
than
do?
30 members.
So how many engineers and how many in the GTM team?
15 are in the product team, 15 are product, 5 to 6 would be customer support and success. We offer 24/7 support. So even if like the volumes are low, we will staff it. So people always have help. What else? What else? Then 2 co-founders. We pretty much do anything and everything. Uh, one person is in HR. What am I missing? Three people in sales. So that's
Makes
the
sense.
composition.
So Amit, one last question here, right? So
Yeah.
what's that next big milestone that you're aiming for as a company, and how do you intend to reach there?
Good question. So we have a few applications which were only imagined in our head. Like if something could happen, then we could do something like this. If this could happen, then we could do this. And with the APIs made available by OpenAI, all of that has now become possible. So without revealing too much, what we're about to launch in Q1, we're all working tirelessly towards that, is going to be very game changing because, it's not about just, having a very thin layer over AI and claiming, oh, we are doing something with GPT. It's about like, really reimagining the whole thing. Like if you were to create a company today to solve this problem with the available technology, how would you do it? Right. And you have to like reimagine the whole block, like, take off your entire, whatever you built with your Legos, take it off and build it from the ground up and you will come with something beautiful. So that's what we are doing. And we are
So
reimagining
Amit, like
how
why like my
customers.
question here, right? So why do all of this, right? I mean, you've got a wonderful product that people are allowing to use, right? So why not just keep on expanding, right? Just acquire more customers, get to a point where I mean, why rethink your product strategy or why expand on those lines? Like what's the vision here?
Because this technology is going to enable adoption across multiple channels. So as of today, all the benefit that I'm telling you, all the things that I'm telling you is only available on the website or the brand's website or the brand's mobile app. Uh, but if you look at a market like US, where 55% of the conversations happen via email, right? 30% happen through the website's chat, and 15% is like phone calls or social media or SMS. So our technology is only applicable to that 30% percent of the people. But with AI, we can take this technology to the remaining 70%,
Mhm.
which was not accessible to us.
Makes sense. Yeah, that makes
Right?
a lot of sense. All right, Amit, thanks for taking the time to talk to me. Hope you scale Rich Panel to much, much greater
Of course.
heights.
Thank you, Upendra.